What's up, guys? My name is Khan and we're back today in Stormworks. Now, it's been a long time since we've played Stormworks, but the reason I've come back to this game is that in the time that we haven't been playing it, the devs have done a ton of updates, and one big update is the advanced vehicle building. Now, you might be wondering what I mean by advanced vehicle building, and really simply, if we take a look at the workbench here, we can take a look at this one sort of vehicle I've already built. And it looks, pretty much like a standard vehicle we would build in Stormworks. We've got our propellers, our rudders on the back, and we've got some seats and a cockpit. But if we look inside, that's where we actually get into all the cool stuff. And you can see here, we've actually got fuel tanks laid out with the red piping. We've got our two engines which pull in air through the orange piping. Exhaust goes out through the brown. We've got light blue for coolant in and dark blue for coolant out, and all that has to be connected. Then, of course, the drive shafts of the engines come out, go through electric generators, which then power the battery, and then through a clutch and gearbox system to, in turn, actually power the propellers. So it's really, really cool now. This is everything I hope Scrap Mechanic becomes in survival, where you have to actually lay out systems within your vehicle. So you can see we've got our two air intakes on the top here. We've got coolant out and exhaust out here on the bottom, and then coolant in on the back. So as we're driving, we can suck in some fresh water, shoot it through the engines to cool the engines down, and then put them out the back. Then, of course, on the top, we've got all sorts of controls, and it's really cool how you can click on a control and customize exactly what it does. So you can see we've got our temperature gauges, our, I believe there's a battery gauge, a fuel gauge as well. Then we've got throttle, clutch controls, gear controls, and all that stuff. So it's really, really cool, and there's a lot to go into, but when you're done, you can make some really awesome boats. And of course, the physics have been reworked. The weather has been reworked. It really honestly feels like a completely different game from when the last time we actually played it on the channel. So I'm really excited. I've been playing a little bit of survival career mode, which is basically, we have to build boats, unlock parts. So this boat here is actually built completely out of the parts you start with. There's no unlocks. And I figure what we'll do in this episode is, instead of, playing around with this, we're actually going to build a new boat, and we'll build one that's a hybrid. So it'll use a diesel engine to power an electric motor, which then powers the actual propeller. So the propellers will just be on an electric drive system, and we'll have a diesel engine that we can turn on to, do all that fun stuff. So I think it'll be really, really cool. And I think it'll be a really awesome sort of challenge to do. So we're not going to use this boat hull. This boat works great. It's been my workhorse, and it's been doing a lot of the campaign missions. But we're going to start with this new hull here. So I've already got it built. Hybrid. It's a lot smaller. And I figure what we'll try and do is we'll put an engine up in the front maybe, and we'll have some seating and cargo in the back. Now, we do have a mission to do, I believe, if we go and check in the missions. Yeah, we have to deliver some equipment to the power station. So we'll track that. We'll build a hybrid boat, and then we'll drive our way across the map over to here. Now, you'll see the map is huge. I haven't really explored a lot. There's tons of islands to buy. We've only got 40 grand, so definitely going to be buying some stuff. Definitely going to be building more vehicles. But with this advanced vehicle building mode, I can't wait to even start building more complicated things like helicopters and planes where you have to route fuel to jet engines and all that stuff. I'm really, really excited, and I hope you guys are too. Now, let's start building this hybrid. Let's put in the electric engine first and the drive shaft. So really simply, we'll just erase some of this, and we'll put in a elbow piece. So we get one of these pipe angle enclosed pieces, and we can rotate it into position. And then you'll see we've got a drive shaft that goes down there and then comes out the back here. And we can put a propeller right on the end of that. Problem solved. So that'll be our main thrust. It's just going to be a single screw, not going to have multiple on this one. And then we'll just, we'll erase some of these pieces, I guess, and we'll put in our rudders. All right, something like that. And then we'll just put twin rudders on it, and fin rudder. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Just got some kind of rudders. I think drag and stuff matters in this. If you have something that's more sleek versus something that's not, it actually does cut through the water. It makes a difference. So I think this will be okay, though. And then really simply coming out of this, we just need to put an electric motor on it. So I don't think we need much. Medium electric motor, the large electric motor, and small. I have unlocked a few parts, but the small one is the one you start with at the beginning. So we're going to make this, again, another completely initial boat that you could spawn at the very beginning of the career mode. So let's just put some batteries. We'll start at the back here, work our way to the front. Hopefully this helps and acts a little bit like a ballast as well to, keep the thing weighed down, but we'll see what happens here. All right, so we've got that. Now, the more important thing is hooking up the engine. So let's get the engine hooked up into here. We'll put a fuel tank on it. I would like to run a closed loop cooling system on this engine. So like a cooling system that goes through a rad to keep itself cold, rather than having an actual like water intake and outtake. So, the problem with the water intake is you have to put the water intake way at the back of the boat, because the water, if the boat starts to hit a wave or something, and the water intake comes out of the water and you put it up in the front, then all of a sudden your boat's not getting any cooling, and it'll overheat the engines and they'll catch on fire and explode. So I don't really want to do that. We're going to try and run a closed loop cooling system here and see if that will work properly. So there we go. And then you start with a small generator, but I think we're gonna need more than one small generator. I think we're gonna need two. So let's just do this in black to stay consistent with the other color scheme. All right, small generator. So we'll put two of them, one on either side, and then it should just be one engine basically driving both of these generators, which will in turn power our two battery banks, which will in turn, you know, power our electric motor. So we can actually hook up all that electricity right now. Really simple stuff. You know, this engine gets driven off that, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then we'll just hook all these in a line. I don't think it matters which battery is hooked into which thing. I mean, as far as I know, pretty sure the electrical grid, everything just shares. Like, we could hook the engine into two batteries, and I don't think it makes a difference. So I'm not really sure. I think it's just for convenience. I mean, if someone knows, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm pretty sure you could wire this up to everything and everything up to everything. And as long as there's at least one connection, it's irrelevant. I'm not positive on that one. But I think that's how it works. And then there we go. So now our two rudders are hooked up as well. And our engine is, and then we just need to basically do everything else. We'll get back in here. Now, we're gonna need engine air intake, so that's pretty easy. We could actually just put like some kind of a cool little blower on it. We can decorate this after to kind of make it look cool. So there we go. So that'll be our air intake for the engine, just, you know, pulls in air right on the front. All right, and then we just need exhaust. Exhaust, I mean, we can just spew the exhaust straight out, really. And what's this? This is fuel. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually run both of those down. All right, perfect. So that one's fuel, that one's exhaust. So we'll just put the two fuel tanks right here. They'll be next to the driver's seat, because, you know, that's not a problem. And actually, we can, you know what, we can put them right up against the wall. That's even better. Perfect, just like that. And then where does that wall come through? Okay, it comes out the bottom there. And runs, oh, okay, it runs up there. So perfect. So then we'll just run this along here. And we'll just make that all enclosed pipe pieces. The coolest thing about this game is the fact that you can actually make ballast tanks and sort of make voids. So the game actually does recognize where there's water and where there isn't water and where you have leaks and holes and where you don't. So you got to use these enclosed pipe pieces where you want to have leaks. But then wherever you don't have to use an enclosed pipe piece, you don't want to use it because you want to make sure you can actually, you know, maintain an air cavity so that your boat will float properly. So we've got two fuel tanks for this. The big boat I made there runs with twin diesel engines, but it has 8 fuel tanks. Now, the thing is, this is a hybrid, so I don't think we're gonna have to run the diesel engine full out all the time. But again, I'm not actually sure how that works. So there's no solar panels as far as I know. So anyways, that's our fuel system. Should be good to go. So we should be able to hook up a couple of medium tanks here and just have these as our fuel. Now, I don't know if the closed loop coolant system is actually going to work. I've never tested that before. So if it doesn't, we'll just run the coolant all the way out. You know what? For now, let's just straight pipe the exhaust out. All right, so that'll be the exhaust for now. And then the coolant, we can run a rad right up on front here. All right, and then what do we have for an actual... Perfect, so that's our coolant loop. All right, and here's the fluid heat rad. So we'll literally just mount this on top of the front of the boat, I guess. Or no, I want to actually have this set down a little bit, I think. All right, there we go. Now we'll actually just angle this from underneath and then just sort of have it come up, and the rad will be kind of in a little bit of a set down area, just so it looks a little bit more flush. And then we'll just kind of cover up the whole engine here. All right, so there we go. So that'll be our closed loop cooling system for this engine, which does have fuel and everything else, and it should all be good to go. So now really all we need to do is wire up a seat just to start testing it, and then we got to work on all the meters and everything else. Perfect. And then, you know, it'll just be kind of like a little bit of more of a cargo boat rather than, you know, anything else. I mean, it's kind of small. Don't really intend on using it for passengers. We could cut out some more holes for some extra seats, but, you know, we've got the bigger boat for passengers anyway, so we'll just try and use this more as a cargo hauler and put more of a front on it. So we're definitely gonna have to cover up this engine compartment a bit. I don't know if it's gonna float or not, but anyways, let's wire some stuff up. So really quickly, electrical, I mean, the seat doesn't need it. Everything else is good. Other than that, we're gonna need hotkey number 1. We can just use that for now to power the engine with a start on off button. W and S is going to drive the electric motor, and A and D are going to steer the two rudders here really quickly. Perfect. And we'll just give ourselves a little throttle, and we'll wire this up with 2 and 3, I guess. Sure, why not? That's up, perfect, and down. And we're gonna need power for this. Steal it from one of the batteries. and the throttle lever will control the engine. So the number output on the throttle lever goes to control the engine throttle. Really simple stuff. We are going to want to make sure we have the ability to measure what our battery is. So we're going to get a dial, and this is just a really simple dial display. We'll put one there for our battery, and we'll put another one right next to it for our fuel. So of course we can customize all this stuff. So this throttle we'll put as engine throttle, right? So it's just easy to know, max value, min value, whatever, done. On the seat, we've got A, D, left, right, all that. And then to start the engine, we're actually just gonna put a push button down as well. So we're gonna put a push button here, and that'll be our engine start button. And if we need anything else, we'll do it. So instead of one going straight into the engine, one will go into the push button, and then the push button will go into the engine. And the reason why you wanna do this is because then if you're actually, you know, just walking around on the creation, you can just push the button like with your player and it'll do the same thing. So we'll wire up this, we'll wire up the two dials, and the logic should be set there. And then we want to customize this. So the battery one is between 0 and 1, and it'll be called battery. And fuel, I don't know what it actually starts at, but we can check what it starts at when we spawn it, and then we can adjust it accordingly. Engine is good there, and this will be engine start. And the engine start button is connected properly, good to go. All right, so I've sealed the engine cavity up with this sweet little cowling. We've got the exhaust coming out the side, and actually all these are actually just, you know, enclosed pipe pieces. So all those pipe pieces that came out are now going through. You can see some of them here, but hopefully this closed loop cooling system works. And actually, we do need one more gauge. We need a temperature gauge for the engine before we go. Otherwise, we're gonna be screwed if the engine overheats. So the engine I know overheats at 130 degrees, so we'll run that. Engine temperature, here we go, and we'll give it electricity, so we'll just connect that to there, and we'll configure this one to be temp, and it'll be between 0 and 130 degrees. So I really hope this closed loop cooling system works. It's definitely nose heavy. We'll definitely have to put either some weight in the back or maybe widen out the front hull, but let's see what it does. So anyways, W, it goes on the electric engine pretty much instantly. We're draining the battery. You can see 0.95, 0.94. So it drains the battery pretty quick. Engine temp is 5 degrees. Fuel is 177. Okay, so we can set our fuel starting point to be like 180. Toggle button for the lights. Yeah, that works. And then battery. So you can see we're draining the battery pretty quick, but it's a hybrid. It's very quiet. It's good to go. So let's see if we can turn on the engine if it'll work. So what happens? So engine throttle, we got to give it a little bit of throttle. So let's put it up to like, I don't know, 0.2. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm not really feeling the love from the engine here. I wonder if 2 generators is too much. What if we remove both of these generators and just put a single generator on it instead, if that makes the difference? Maybe it's just too many generators. So we'll go small generator here. Perfect, just like that, straight off the input. And we'll hook that up to the electrical system. I really hope that's the issue. I don't know what else it could be. Let's spawn this. This boat better work. All right, definitely floats a little bit better. Still a little bit nose heavy, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. All right, let's boot this up. Give it some throttle. Oh, there we go. So I guess it was just 2 generators is too much for the engine. 1 is good enough. So now the question is, how much does that charge our battery? So obviously the battery's full now. But if we drive, look at that exhaust fume coming out. This is the... Okay, so we do drain the battery quicker than we can recharge it. I think we might have a problem with this closed loop cooling system. I think it's going to keep heating up the coolant fluid, and the rad is not going to be able to actually keep up. I think at some point in time our engine's just going to straight explode. Let's see if this actually is the case or not. But it's a hybrid drive system, so it's kind of cool. It definitely needs some tweaking. But, you know, I love that. First of all, I love that. I mean, I might as well make this just an actual motorboat with a single diesel engine in the front, remove all the cooling stuff, and just put some more weight in the back. But we'll go beat the mission with this anyways, and hopefully not have our engine explode. So let's actually go back and get the objective. Let's go get our 3 boxes and deliver them to the nuclear facility. Of course, let me know what you guys think of this vehicle in the comments down below. I'll definitely go back and tune it. I know that initial boat, I constantly am making adjustments to it. Sometimes I'll use it and I'll realize, well, this is kind of stupid. Maybe it should be able to do this or whatever. So I'm definitely going to be doing that with this kind of a boat as well. It definitely needs a lot of tuning and a lot of changes. Let me know what you guys think of this game, and if you want me to keep doing videos on it. Let me know too what kind of videos you want to see. Do you want to see me, you know, do something like this where I actually build something and, you know, kind of show the building process? Or do you want to do a video where it's just like, I've already got a completed project and we're just doing some missions with a completed build? You know, it's really up to you guys. I'd love to know what you think, and I'd love to hear what you think. I definitely am going to build a lot of my own stuff in this with the advanced building mode. It's really, really cool, and especially, you know, getting into helicopters and stuff. I can't wait, but we'll see if this boat even works here. I'm honestly, I'm not really too confident. As long as it doesn't explode, that's really where it's at. I mean, we definitely have battery power. Okay, hopefully these will stay in as well. That would be the other. No, of course they don't. The biggest problem, I think, with this boat is we need a variable throttle control on the electric engine, which means we need to do like some gearing systems, or even, you know what, you could even just put a clutch and then you control the clutch. So the electric motor is on, but depending on how much clutch you give it determines how much power it has. But, you know, that works too. Look at this, perfect. All right, so we've got our stuff. We're running it without engine right now. You know what, let's turn the engine on. Throttle it up, of course. There we go. And, you know, we're still running on battery, 87, 86. I'm worried about that temp. I don't know what's going to happen. This is great, though. I love the fact that you can take a boat and just build it really quickly like that. And, you know, even something as ridiculous as this. Obviously, the hull design might need a little bit of work. Would be cooler to make a different looking hull for this one. And I think I'm going to convert this to actually just be sort of a sport boat and have a single engine in the front that runs to a prop in the back. I feel like that would be a lot more efficient than doing this whole hybrid thing. But, you know, we're protecting the environment here, guys. You can see we're clearly not polluting at all. And our boat engine is much, much better for the environment, as we're not, you know, we're not using that harmful diesel stuff. How's our temp doing? 90, oh boy, the engine's gonna explode. Can we actually run the engine at low throttle? Have it not overheat? Oh yeah, we can, okay. Kind of, no? 35, yeah, okay, so it's just because it's at high throttle. What's the throttle? How are we doing for battery? Pretty good, 0.48. It's a really interesting system here. I know in Stormworks you can make all sorts of ridiculously huge motherships and stuff, so I definitely want to get to that point where we've got like a massive mothership and we're lifting boats out of the water. I have made fully electric dinghies before in this, and then I also have the twin diesel cutter, which just runs, you know, extremely fast with twin screws and twin diesel engines. But, you know, it's really, really cool that you can combine different systems and make all sorts of custom stuff like this. So, of course, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what kind of builds you would like to see. You know, we're just going to run until the engine explodes. I don't even care. I really, you know what, we've got tons of fuel. Yeah, we're going to get to the power station. We've still got enough battery. We'll just, you know what, let's let the engine explode. Like, let's see what it does. Or does it just, it's going to just catch on fire. I really hope it doesn't blow up the whole boat. It shouldn't. I think it'll just catch the engine on fire and the engine will stop working. 114. Yeah, so definitely the closed loop single rad system, oh boy. I think that's the engine seizing. Oh dear Lord. Okay, okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's a hybrid. Got that testing equipment you asked for. Oh boy. Oh goodness. Okay. Relax, boat. There's no like slow throttle on the electric engine, and it got really dark really quickly. You know what? It's fine. Look, it's just, we just needed a light. All right, well, let's just get this stuff off the boat. We'll just throw it all up there. I'm really excited with all the updates that devs have made, and I think the vehicle building system is just absolutely awesome. I love the way that you have to wire up the systems and actually think about all the systems. And in stuff like this, you know, we got to go back and probably just run that on an actual cold water loop that comes in from the outside so that we don't, you know, burn our engine out. All right, we're just gonna deliver these crates, so we'll just give them a good old toss. I think it's like some special valuable equipment for a nuclear power plant. I mean, you know what, who cares? Testing equipment, it's fine, we'll just toss that. You can throw like an Olympian. All right, perfect, we've delivered all the crates. We got a winch blueprint, altimeter, we've got some linear sensor speeds, and a bunch of cash. I know I've also unlocked a few helicopter parts and stuff. So really, the sky is the limit in terms of what we want to build in this game. But of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.